let's just be honest here. There are some Jamaicans that will never come back to Jamaica. They will never go back to Jamaica. They will never say anything positive about Jamaica. They will never rise up Jamaica. They will never sit down and have a conversation and say, boy, say Jamaica, they might get better. They will never have them conversations about Jamaica with you. They will always go on the most negative things, the crime rate, the violence.
Ignorance is not Jamaican culture, because the way that we are behaving and the things that we say about ourselves and the way that we want people to think about us would lead people to believe that Jamaica is a place of ignorance.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. To my returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back and watching my video. Thank you so much for the love and support, and greetings to my brothers and sisters all the way from Caribbean country. So guys, in today's video, I want us to watch this video from a Jamaican lady. She has decided to school all Jamaicans. She has decided to school her own, and also the things that she's talking about in this video, it is not something that Jamaicans or the black people can ignore it. So kindly guys, watch this video, then I'll be back with more comment.
Greetings and salutations. It's Carla from Mortalk JA, and a little stuffy. I apologize for that. And a semester kind of come and just smash up my body, but I've just had to encounter my second fight in a 24-hour period. So it leads me to think that this is something urgent, critical that needs to be said. Jamaican people, ignorance is not your culture. I will say it again. Ignorance is not Jamaican culture. Because the way that we are behaving and the things that we say about ourselves and the way that we want people to think about us would lead people to believe that Jamaica is a place of ignorance. It is not. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean ignorant just in terms of not knowing things, although that is a part of what we do. Jamaican people, we don't know nothing about that, we know that, so we don't know nothing about that. Knowing about something does not mean that you condone it. It just means that you're aware of it. Ignorance is not the defining feature here. But when I say ignorant in this instance, what I'm actually talking about is ignorant like you can't reason with them. When I say somebody ignorant like them head chip out, them head gone, them head fly away, them dark out, all of them something there. We have come to believe that somehow being able to get that place to where you're dark out and nobody can reason with you is a hallmark of Jamaicanness. It is not. We have taken it so seriously that now we're engaged in what I call competitive ignorance, which is a situation where if you go for your knife, me have to go for your gun. If you tell me about my mother, me have to dip up under the whole of your family. There is no hope for de-escalating a situation, because the second one person go yes, so the other person have to go higher. And the person who can get to the point where they dark out and just walk and look for things to kill people, the one who get to the point where they want to draw blood first, that is somehow the victor. You are not the victor. You are a victim. You are a victim of years of social conditioning on a plantation that has told you that a black person is a beast, that a black person is primitive, that a black person is somehow less rational, less reasoning than anybody else, that a black person is basically a wild animal. And so you function the way that wild animals do. And I find it interesting that for a set of people who are so into fighting down Babylon system and so no one nobody control them and no one white people tell them what to do, you have become the most effective functioning arm of that white plantation mentality, because you are doing that work to kill off black people where white people cannot do it anymore. You need to stop. We are very much concerned with the idea of honor and respect here in Jamaica, right? We don't want anybody this way. I can usually tell when an argument between Jamaicans is about to go completely ridiculous when one person starts to say that other person has style them. Style, you try style me not. This, you try this, me, you try to take me for boy, you try to take me for duppy, but all of them type of something there. The second that we feel that our honor has somehow been besmirched, we have to do anything that is necessary to return it. And I wonder if it is that we have some medieval relics running around in terms of our psyche, because only in a medieval time we know when somebody somehow disrespect you or them go against your honor, then you have to go into like a jousting match with them, or you have to take out the long sword and come after them. This is not medieval times, right? And I never fully history that, so can we please get that out of our mind? I am sick and tired of us killing and shooting and beating and fighting and arguing and everything in each other over some idea of disrespect that has not taken place. Jamaican people, I need for you to learn how to separate your emotions. Disappointment is not disrespect. Sadness is not disrespect. Confusion is not disrespect. Feeling inadequate is not disrespect. None of these things are disrespect. But you treat them that way. A woman leaves her partner. Try style me. No, she just doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. You ask somebody for money and they respectfully tell you no, they don't have any money. Try style me. You think man a beggar? No, I don't think you're a beggar. I think you have some money and I don't have any. That whole thing about being a beggar, those are your issues that you're taking out on me. Somebody gives you a job to do and you're not able to figure out how to do it. Style man. Give man foolishness to do. No, it's not foolishness to do. You just don't understand it. All of these are separate emotions and none of them imply that you have been disrespected. But the second that you essentialize every emotion you have that doesn't feel positive down to disrespect, then you are making it okay for you to react with violence to almost anything that happens to you. We have to stop it. I get it. We are the product of a violent encounter between indigenous people, African people, and European people. So we have colonial violence, cycles of it, economic violence, the poverty here, the mess that is some parts of the education system, the gender-based violence that is happening here over and over and over again, right? Racist violence that is happening here, classist violence that is happening here, all type of different violence that is happening here. That is the little stew in which we come up. And we have a chip on our shoulders. We're not the richest country. We're not the poorest country either. We're not the richest country. Plenty of places we can't go there because they have visa restriction upon we. We feel like we're less than a lot of places. And we turn that into our national personality and we walk around with it all day and expect that people are somehow going to accommodate it. Not only do we expect that people are going to accommodate it, we take it out on each other as though that's the norm. That's not the norm. That type of violence is not the norm, and it's not something that any of us should have to deal with on any daily basis. We need to heal from that violence so we can get to the place so we can function like normal people. Because I'm interested in coloniality and how colonial project continues in today, I cannot ignore the fact that a lot of these killings, woundings are being done to black people. Now people might say, well, Jamaica has a majority black population, so blah, 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 blah. They're more likely to happen to black people. They're more likely to happen to black people of a particular class. Between black people of a particular class in Jamaica. We're much less likely to try and hype upon white people or Indian people or Chinese people, which is not to say that they don't experience their own type of violence, because we know that there is a way that we love tech set upon the merchant class, people who own wholesale, people who own businesses, will love go them house and kill them off, all of them type of something there. So clearly there is a particular type of violence that they're experiencing. But this thing where an argument over $50 turns into one man getting shot in the head back, that type of thing is more likely to happen between black people. And so I cannot ignore the fact that once again we have really taken that training on the plantation that tells us that black people are killable, that you can exterminate them, that if they offend you, you can remove them from the face of the earth because they're really not as valuable as anybody else. Anyway, one black life is not really equal to any other life, so do what you want to do. Now, these things are running around inside of us. We've been programmed that way. We've been actually actively trained into that type of belief system. And I need for us to stop and take a look at it, because this is where we are. There was a 24-hour period the other day where there were 15 people murdered in St. James alone, right? If you want to look at it from the aspect of gender-based violence, there have been 6 women killed in the past week by their male partners or exes. And it's not that this is on the rise, it's just that we're paying attention to it, because this is something that has been happening for a long time. And and so we need to get serious, because this is not what I plan to leave for my children or my nieces or my nephews. This is not where I plan to live. And I'm sick of the idea that if I want to have a good life, I have to leave Jamaica. And honestly, the only thing that's standing between me and a good life in Jamaica is some of you Jamaicans, including those in government, yes. But those of you who are walking around every day with your anti-black self-hatred, killing off everybody around you. It has to stop. Being ignorant is not being Jamaican. Being ignorant is the pathology of whiteness that has been passed down to you as a black person that you are acting out every day. Being violent does not somehow make you valuable. Being hurt and wounded from years of oppression does not give you the right to take that out on everybody else. And at some point, it becomes your responsibility to heal from that so people can actually deal with you. Don't tell me say you're dark out. Don't tell me say I just say you stay. Don't tell me say such Jamaican people tan, because I'm standing here as a born and bred Jamaican and I am not that way. Get your act together. That's a human life you're dealing with. You need to have respect for it. Not because it's a black person, not because it's a poor black person. You don't get to kill somebody just because you're dark out, and that will not be the thing that my country is remembered by. Now, this is not my post about life in leggings. Everybody does need to go and check out that hashtag, especially in light of the fact that like 6 Jamaican women have been killed by their partners in the past week. That's a different post that I'm going to do. Violence is not our culture. Stop using culture to explain all of the bad things that you do. Violence is not your culture. It never has been. Violence is something that is a part of your culture, but violence is not the thing that defines you. You're a big somebody. Take responsibility for yourself. Think better, be more responsible, and overall just be a better human. Because if there's one thing that I know Jamaicans are supposed to be, is we're supposed to be deep.
Let's just be honest here. There are some Jamaicans that will never come back to Jamaica. They will never go back to Jamaica. They will never say anything positive about Jamaica. They will never rise up Jamaica. They will never sit down and have a conversation and say, boy, say Jamaica, they might get better. They will never have them conversations about Jamaica with you. They will always go on the most negative things, the crime rate, the violence, and all of the stuff that they see negative. They will keep talking down. They won't talk about how the roads have improved, how the services have improved, how we're moving into more better places and spaces, how our tourism's still at the top. Like, not those things, how certain communities have been developing and getting better, properties have been getting more modern. No talk about that. Every talk is how they're never going to come back, and how to put down Jamaica, and how the violence and crime will never stop, even though the violence and crime is in certain areas and not in others, because you can live in Jamaica and never experience violence and crime, and that's a fact. But to you people that will talk down about Jamaica and don't have anything nice to say, please never come back. Like, you don't have to. Don't ever come back. Thank you.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video from our Jamaican sister. She has come out and lecture all Jamaicans and telling them that to change their way, because ignorance, it is not part of Jamaican culture. And also some of the problem that this lady, she has come out and talk about, it is not only to the Jamaicans they are facing all this problem. It is this message I wanted to go to all black people, because some of the things that this lady, she has mentioned, also the black people they are facing, not only the Jamaican alone, the black people from Africa also, they are facing the same. And also I want to tell you that we need to change our way as a black people, because I cannot blame only Jamaican, because we have this country, the black country, which has been colonized by these white people. They always go through this ignorance thing in their country, not only Jamaicans, guys. And this is to tell you that we as black people, we need to change. We need to get rid of the colonizers. We need to get out of colonization, because we as black people, we have been suffering for a longest period. And also this Jamaican lady, she has come out and say about the Jamaican people, why is it you Jamaicans, you impress other races than your own races? You impress other race than your own. You support other race than your own. And this is one of the things that this lady, she has talked about. We as black people, we as Jamaicans, we need to support our own before supporting the other races. And this, it happens to all black countries, to all African country also. This happened to Africa. And that's why this lady, she's coming out and call all the black people to start supporting your own race. And also, guys, I've been telling you that now we as black people, we need to come together, we need to unite, we need to support our own race. These people that are taking advantage of us black people, because they came in our country, they came in Jamaica, they came in Africa, they took our brothers from here in Africa to the Caribbean, and also they taught them that they are not supposed to love their fellow brothers. They are not supposed to support their fellow brothers. But when you look at them, you will see them supporting their fellow brothers. You will see the Chinese supporting other Chinese. You will see Indian is supporting a fellow Indian. You will see white are supporting their fellow white in terms of business, in terms of development. These people, they usually support each other. But when we come to the black people, we are not supporting our own. We as black people, we are, instead of supporting our own, we are the ones who wants to see that our fellow black people is going down. This is the problem that it is happening here in Africa, and also the same problem which it is happening in Jamaica. Not only Jamaica, all over the black country. This is one of the problem also it is happening. And this lady, she has come out and say, all this ignorant, all these thing that is happening to the black nation, it was brought by the colonizers. It was starting during the colonizers. This lady, she has measured and talk about the ignorance. And we as black people, we love to ignore things. Instead of sitting down and do more research and to see how it works, we are very lazy to do research. We are very lazy to make things right. Instead, we usually ignore, and that's one of the problem, and that's one of the things that the colonizers, they are using to conquer us. If we will start all this ignorance that we are having in our community as the black people, we will also get rid of these people being on top of us, because we black people, we have the resources. We black people, we have everything. The reasons to why we are so reluctant, the reasons to why our country is not developing, it is because we are not supporting each other. You can see, I want to see African becoming borderless. These people, they are the ones who came here in Africa. They divided this Africa into portion, and also after dividing this Africa, they made African country being borders. They make sure that we have a border so that we cannot become one African continent. And the same way they did in a Caribbean country, they divided the Caribbean country also. They make sure that the Caribbean people, they are not supporting their fellow brothers, and also they have made the black Americans not to support the black people from the black people here in Africa, the black people from Caribbean. This is the thing that these people, they are now using against us black people. And that's why this Jamaican lady, she's calling all the black people, not only Jamaicans, all black people, to come together and unite. We should stop giving these people the first priority. I've been seeing some of the videos from Jamaica. They usually give the white people more priority. The white people, they are having more access than the black people in Jamaica. This should stop. The same way what it is happening in Africa. When we African, we see a white person, a Chinese or an Indian, we usually give them the first priority than our fellow black people. All this should stop. And that's why I've been telling you, I'm telling you that we as black people, we need to come together, we need to unite, we need to become strong. And also, guys, there is a video also of a lady coming out and saying there are some of the black Jamaicans or Jamaicans, they will not talk about their country. They will not promote their country. The only thing that they are talking about their country is to spread the bad news about their country. Also, it is not only happening in Jamaica. Also, there are some people who they don't love Africa, and they are Africans. You can imagine the Africans, they are talking ill about Africa. The Africans people, instead of promoting Africa, they are the ones who are spreading the bad thing about Africa. All this should stop. We as African people, we need to love our country. We need to promote our country. I love majority of Jamaicans, because majority of Jamaicans, they usually carry their country back Wherever they are going, these people, they will speak about their country. They will talk about their country. They will talk good thing about their country. You will also, it will be easy for you to notice that there is a Jamaican in United States, there is a Jamaican in Africa, there is a Jamaican in India, because of how these people, they usually carry their country wherever they go. If you will find a Jamaican here in Africa, he will tell you more about Jamaica, the good things about Jamaica. But for those who are spreading these bad things about Jamaica, they need to stop. The Jamaicans who are spreading bad things about Jamaicans, we have those Jamaicans who they got chance to get out of Jamaica, and right now they are working in United States, in Canada, in this money country. And because they have seen these countries that they are working in, it is more developed than their country, they are now talking ill about their country, because they have seen that they think that they are having now the best life they can never have in Jamaica. But I keep on telling you that it is good when you return back home. It is good when you promote your country. When you promote your country also, so many people will come and they will do more development in your country. So kindly guys, that is the message of today. I really want we as black people to come together, to unite, and also our leaders to work in our country. I want to see African becoming borderless. I want to see the black people from Caribbean, the Afro-Caribbean, uniting with the black Americans. All we as African, wherever we are, we know Africa, it is the motherland. We know one day we will be coming back here in the motherland. So we need to unite. We should stop all this ignorant. We should abolish the things that we are still using today of these colonizers. These colonizers, they brought so many things in our country, and up to date we are still using it. It is now the right time for us to abolish all these colonizers thing in our country, starting from the education. The education they all teach about, it is white history, how they conquered Africa, how they colonized the black nation. We need to change, and we need to start teaching our children in school about the black history. We should abolish all these things that these colonizers they left us, and because of that also it is really making us to be behind. It is making us black people not to unite, not to support our own races. These people, they are the ones who teach us not to love our own races. We need to start loving and promoting and supporting our own races, so that we can go far, so that we as black people, we can develop more. So thank you guys. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.